Hello, hello, hello. Hello, yeah. How's your mum? What? Hey, good morning, everybody. It's 7:29 in the morning, New York time, approximately London lunch. It's time for our daily Forex trading strategy session. You know what? I think you see the wrong chart. Do you see green on your charts? No green. All right. Well, I'm being told that you see green. Good. So you're not supposed to see green. Good. Well, there you go. It's working so much better today. So today is the 16th of November, or as my son says, almost December. I'm like, well, not quite almost. And that was yesterday. I'm like, it's pretty much almost the beginning of November, just as it's much December. So anyways, it's Wednesday. Trade kitty cat. You should already know that. Duh. Right? And we got our technical analysis and all that kind of stuff. I think what you're looking at is our scalp from yesterday when we scalped the news, and our target was the 1618. I'm sorry, we're not quite there. But, 100 pips is 100 pips. Not bad for a 1 minute scalp, eh, Brew? I know. I know. I was just tired. So anyways, let's get on with it. Get on with it. Let's try to play the happy song. I'm not sure if Flash is going to handle it. Oh, actually, it was pretty fast. Play the happy music, do the disclaimer, and pop some charts. What do you stink? Smell like a plan? Life is fun. Hey, 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 hey! Hey there, boo boo! Hey there, Freddy boy! And how do you do to you? Good morning, everybody. My name is Wayne McDonell. Hola! And I'm here to remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance is not indicative of future results. That's all I need to say, actually. My name is Wayne. As I mentioned, I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you very much for being a client. We tried very hard to provide you world-class customer service and support, and fast execution, and very competitive spreads. And I think we do a very good job of it. In fact, I have measured our execution, and we're, I was the top-ish. Yeah, certain some of those big boys are pretty slow. They're like, wow, those are really big trading firms, and they have really bad execution. Well, we're lightning fast. Quicker than quick, faster than fast. Yeah. So good. Right on. So let's fall in love, eh? We do these sessions every single day, Monday through Thursday, here at Forex.Today, and every Friday at FX Street. At FX Street, you have to pay money. Ho, ho, ho! Ricky Healy. Yeah, premium members only. I am also Forex Speaker of the Year for 2016 at said FX Street. I don't know, Marina. You should get them to do it. I'll tell you what, if you contact them through support, I'll contact them through my guys. Yeah, click on the chat on TradersWay.com. Sounds good, huh? Hey, I noticed you're able to post your trade plans. I am very excited about that, Marina. Very glad to see your analysis. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. All right, so yesterday we had a scalp. I helped you through it. Remember how exciting it was? I'm like, all right, here it is. You fib it, you sell the pullback, sell it at resistance, right? And then boom, boom. And this, I think this was the, I was explaining oh, come on, Bubba. I was explaining at the time the second move, which hadn't really occurred yet. Hang on, let me zoom in. I guess I got to turn that off. Okay. And then where I left it wasn't quite right. Hello. Now what? A little hiccup there. Come on. Gee, where am I? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? There we go. All right, so yesterday we were on to 1 minute, and there was a scalp, 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 scalp. Each one of those pullbacks were good. And then I think I had left it here at the end of our webinar. And what I had suggested is that you can flip from the 1 minute to the 5 minute, because remember, these were all 1 minutes. You flip from the 1 minute to the 5 minute, and at some point you should get a similar 382 Fibonacci retracement. All right, is that where we are mentally from yesterday while we were scalping a 1 minute chart on retail sales? Everybody following me? Right? Yeah? Okay. So then we moved to the 5 minute, and the idea was these were all micros. If you remember, I said you have the micro opportunity, lower high, right? And then another lower high. You can measure it this way, or you can measure it this way. Okay. Okay. But on a 1 minute, they're all pretty simple, right? This is a 5 minute. Remember, on a 1 minute, how many candles there'd be, right? 5 times more candles. So you have that fib, then it makes a new lower low, and then it makes that fib, and then it makes a lower low over and over and over again, right? And then we had this big drop and all that kind of stuff and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now you can go this way, right? And change it to a 5 minute chart. And what I was suggesting is that it should have a bigger pullback into this gray zone, gray zone-ish, based on how we were measuring from this low to that high, 382, 618, Fibonacci retracement, all that. You can see it actually went a little bit lower first. So let me get rid of that. So it actually it went a little lower first. That's fine. But at some point it bottoms out. So it bottomed out here, 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 here. Look at that. It's like an hour, right? So now you adjust a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Because you're measuring from peak to valley, right? And there should be a lower peak, new valley. So all we did is we went from scalping a 1 minute to scalping a 5 minute, right? Because what I was suggesting, and I always suggest this, it's going to be their term now because they're waiting for the lower low, lower high, lower low. Got it? So here you might have had 2 or 3 shots in the 1 minute, but not everybody trades in 1 minute. But the 5 minute guys, they're going to wait for their 382. And then the 15 minutes guys, they're going to wait for their 382. Because everyone's looking at different charts, but we're all waiting for the same pattern, just on different time frames, right? That's why they say, in quantum physics, the relativity, it's all relative to your point of view in the space-time continuum. Well, here, it's all dependent on your point of view in the price-time continuum. But it's the same pattern. We're all waiting for the same thing. We're just using different units of measurement, if you will, right? All right. So anyways, and you get this kind of stuff going. You see that 382? Coincidence, right? Coincidence? That was pretty choppy. Okay, there it is here. Coincidence, coincidence. No, of course not a coincidence, right? Isn't that funny? Funny how, right? Like a clown, right? Pretty funny, huh? That's the 382. That was their chance. Right? Now maybe it wasn't a 5er, maybe it was more like a 15-minuter. meaning someone that's trading the 15 minutes. So let's zoom in a little bit. So yeah, so it was, you can measure it like a 15-minute dude, right? But notice it ends up playing out. It just played out on a higher time frame. And what about the hourly dudes and dudettes? Right? Chicks. Chicks with pips. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Cool. But of course we had it like that. So that's probably how people had it. And then of course, what do we call this? For some of you, it was a new terminology. Let's just see. What do you call this? Don't say retracement, because of course it's a retracement, but there's something else going on there. Okay. It's standard operating procedure for swing traders. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Taking profit. No, that's not kind of where I'm going. That's why I'm asking questions. I need to know what you know. See, I've been trading that kind of move since 2003. Yeah, well, Marina, instead of saying why don't you say would you please? Just ask. Say, well, I would really appreciate it. Please note. Please put it in your notes. No, not in, well, yeah, to the chat person. Just say, you know, since I've deposited over 1 million rand, you know, I'm a power player here at TradersWay. So, you know, I'd really appreciate it, right? If you pop in that czar. But, okay. All right, so, well, there you go. 1 million czar. Like I said, when I was checking into my hotel in South Africa, the guy's like, yeah, it's only rand. Don't worry about it. It's only rand. That's what he said to his buddy. I just thought it was pretty funny. It was a good joke. No, don't worry. It's only rand. It's worth something now. It will be worth nothing later. Don't worry about it. So, anyways, yeah. No. Let's see if I can change our point of view. I'm going to change the template because I can. Let's do sessions. Come on, now touch me, baby. So here's London high to New York close. London high, New York's just opening. What do we call it? Again, I've been trading that pattern since 2003, maybe 2002. Because I'm like, oh, that tends to happen a lot. The Asian fade. Thank you, T-Bone. Travis, are you new or are you old? I knew a Travis once. I think the guy worked out 3 times a day and lived on 500 calories. But he was ripped. Good. Thank you, Marina. That's the way to do it. I remember him. He was a nice guy, right, Mike? Yeah. You know, boot camper. All right, this is the Asia fade. Good call. Yes. And so, do you see, and we do talk about this a lot, but, you know, I got to cover it for everybody. We need to make sure everyone's on the clue train. This is exactly why, what's going on here? Oh, boy, it's slow. This is exactly why I measure the 382 to 618 on the daily range. It's only for my Asia fade trade. That's my sell zone in a trend. See, if we were trending up, I buy in that gray box. If we're trending down, I sell in that gray box. Me? Management? I'm an entrepreneur. You can't manage me. I'm unmanageable. I'm too pretty to take orders from somebody. Yeah. Oh, me? No, gee whiz. I'm just a college student, Marina. I'm a simple man. Be a simple kind of man. Will you do this for me, son? If you can. So, anyways, that's the Asia fade, yo. Doesn't happen often, or let's say doesn't. Well, if it's trending too fast, you don't catch it. But that is fairly typical, and that is something I look for, like laser focused. Okay, that's the kind of thing you want. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay, well, so look at this: down, 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 up in Tokyo, down, 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 up in Tokyo, right? Down, 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 up in Auckland, all right? Down and then down in Tokyo, up to London, and then down, 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 down. Tokyo, right? See, Tokyo up to London, down, 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 down. Tokyo up to London, down, 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 down. So look at Tokyo up in a downtrend. Tokyo up in a downtrend. Tokyo down and then sideways or down and then up, right? Obviously related to news, down in London. Tokyo up in a downtrend, down in London. Tokyo up in a downtrend, down in London, right? You're like, oh my God. Jen says, what's wrong with these Asian people? Is that what you said? That's really racist, Jan. You Jen's like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No, 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 no. What's happening is profit taking. Right? It's not right. Asian people are not stupid. No, no. It's a smaller market, and New York and London are taking profit, and it's fading. And then the new money back into the market at the London Open. Right? Let me tell you. All right, let me tell you something. Huh? Yeah, Asia is not stupid, right? So it's really brilliant. They're sitting around waiting to sell, right? Ideally, so you get a little bit of Tokyo news, right? You get some Tokyo news, great, right? And by the way, it used to be Tokyo Open, and then it's become more and more Shanghai Open. So you get some volatility in news, and some news is more important than others, of course. But just imagine everybody in Asia waiting for the London boys to come on board. And Asia and Europe and the Middle East sell at the same time. Imagine it that way. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Sell, 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 sell. Okay? That's all. That's all. It's cool, right? I know, right? Yeah, I decided in the template thing that I'm building for you guys in the template I'm not going to give you the session thing because I'm predicting something right off the bat. Because I remember I installed the indicator and I must have spent an hour tweaking with it to get it to show me the right sessions at the right time. Right? And I believe if I give it to you, if you're not sitting in the New York time zone, it's not going to overlap, right? Because you know. Right? Wouldn't it matter the difference between local time and server time? Or that or not? No? Is that right? So it's just looking at server time then. All right, in that case, I don't mind then. I just don't want to like have, let's say 100 people download it and 67 people complaining. Well, I risk nothing by not adding it, right? Let me tell you, if you do anything in life for free or for cheap, it's going to be a nightmare and it's not going to be worth the time or effort. So I always hesitate. Give away something for free, I'm going to regret it. Put in all the hours and hours, pay money for a programmer to install it, put all this effort and time into it, hand it out, and everyone cries like, right? Oh, New York is 1 hour off, right? I'm going to hate you on social media. Well, you're welcome, dude. You know it's true though, right? It's a really unfortunate, right? Dude, I was trying to help you out. I did you a favor and stuff. Oh, you're so mean. You're a scam artist. Like, no, I was trying to give you a tool to help you trade. You're a scumbag, Wayne. So, anyway, so look at this. This swing high to that swing low, 50% down. Beautiful, right? It's just someone else's swing. That's a 4-hour dude, right? Yeah, ungrateful generation. Yeah, it is a welfare state, the whole world now, right? And talk about everyone with entitlement. My son was great the other day. We're driving to the restaurant, taking the family out for dinner. And my wife's talking to me, and he's like, Mom. She keeps talking. Mom. She keeps talking. Mom. And she's like, I'm talking to your father. So she finishes her sentence and then says, all right, now what do you have to say? Oh, I don't want to say it anymore. Like, well, that makes it even extra rude. You're interrupting. Yeah, never mind. Come on. And he's like, I'm bored. Like, what? That's what you're talking about. Well, I don't have my tablet with me. Well, look out the freaking window. Look. And my wife's like, look, that person's walking. And look, there's a golf cart. I live in a community of golf carts. And like, look at those people golfing on the golf course. They're putting and it's almost dark. Like, look at the world. Look out the window. I mean, like, there isn't stimulation going on right now for me, and I need some stimuli, right? Right? What a world we live in now, right? I can't get YouTube videos out here. This place sucks. Oh my God. Yeah, look out the window, bro. So anyways, we live in a world of constant stimulation, huh? Yeah, James is like, I had to count the corn for fun. All right, so looking at this on a different view, I don't remember what this was, but it was genius, right? You can see I said there's probably, what, 3 areas you sell? Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C. I guess that, well, Plan A worked. You're welcome. So that's that. Yeah, Rob, that's funny. I said look out the windows, not at windows. I'd rather die than use windows. No, the window. What's window? It's glass. Oh, like Google Glass? No. Hey, when I was your age, I was happy playing with cardboard. Like Google Cardboard? No, not like Google Cardboard. like boxes. So yeah, it's true, Rob. You could probably get me some killer cell phones, huh? All right, so that's that. So we got some what? 34 and a half minutes away from PPI. Yay. MBA mortgage applications. Cool. That's in, right? So you think that app up there is cool? Yeah. I'm just looking at some news. Blah, 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 blah. Russian industrial production coming out at the top of the hour. Yada, yada, yada. Lots of stuff going on. Did you guys trade the 2 years to Brexit news? That caught me. That caught me off guard yesterday. Dope. Don't you hate stuff like that where you're just kind of like nothing's happening, and then what the hell just happened? And it's only against the pound yen, and it's what I'm trading. You're like, how can it be the only thing going wrong? The one trade I'm on, right? Story of my life. Mm-mm-mm. We got September manufacturing sales out of Canada, so a little more Canadian news. Uh, remember, we have oil inventories at 10:30. So, there's grease for the skids. There's lots of low-level news. A lot of volatility in oil, right? A lot of volatility in oil these days. China's going to cut fuel prices. Iceland has left interest rates at 5.25. Man, that was like 18% back in the day. A lot of OPEC jibber jabber. Remember, I don't think, even if they agree, I don't think anybody's willing to do what needs to get done. That's the problem with the cartel, right? The problem with the cartel is maintaining the cartel. So, oh yeah, so I studied game theory recently, and in the spring term at Harvard, I'm studying. I signed up for, I signed up for these classes that are ridiculously hard. I don't know why I'm so mean to myself. But anyway, so I signed up for a whole class on game theory. And so, part of game theory that I've already studied is, when you put a cartel together like OPEC, there are huge incentives to cheat. So everyone sits around the table and they're like, yeah, all right, we'll all cut production, prices will go up, and nobody is going to sell and make undue profit. Right? So when oil prices jump 30%, nobody sell. Uh huh. Good luck with that, right? So what happens is the news comes out and oil pops $5 or $6, and you can just hear the pump jacks go to like overdrive, right? Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, that is the problem right off the bat with a cartel. Okay, the 8 o'clock news out. UK September average earnings up a bit, but remember priced in pounds, which are worth less. So weekly earnings have gone up 2.3%. Yeah, but the pound has dropped more than that, right? So I don't know if that's a good enough. The yuan has been weakened to the point that it's lowest since 2008, pre-crisis, right? Do you guys remember when that was like, it was quite strong, and I'm like, no one's going to want that. They want to compete against Japan. They're going to want to weaken that. Well, it's come a long way since then. That was probably 6 or 8 or 9 months ago when it was strong. Well, now it's ridiculously weak. In the United States, fourth month of declines for mortgage applications. But again, it's not the right time to buy, right? You don't buy houses, and even in August, it's too late. You should be buying June and July, right? And of course, the most important news of the week is the 133rd football game between the Harvard Crimson and the Yale Bulldogs. Boo! Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. I wish I had time to go. Makes me cry. So a couple days ago, oil was up like 5, almost 6%. Now down 1 over 1. 10-year T-note just ridiculous. It's just amazing. We're on our way to 2.4. It's currently at 2.24. It was 1.4. Now it's almost 2.4. 1 full percentage point. USC. Who's their rival? UCLA or Long Beach State? I was trying to get some notes here on. There was a lot said by the Fed yesterday about various people in the Fed about flash crashes and stuff, but I don't have any good notes in front of me. So what can I say? There was a lot of jibber jabber. Let's go and look at things like oil. Notre Dame. What? USC doesn't have a rivalry with Notre Dame. What are you talking about? All right. Yeah, a friend of mine got his law degree from UCLA, and he wears his baby blue all the time. But he lives now in Florida, but he used to live in Georgia. And I walk around, I'm like, you look like a Tar Heels fan because it's the same color as North Carolina. So if I wear my crimson, everybody thinks I'm from Alabama because Alabama has the Crimson Tide. So I'm like, yeah, yeah, I look like an Alabama guy, don't I? All right. So I think we were down in here, and I swear we were like in the gray zone. And I said, the closer we get to 40, the more likely it's going to get up. Bama. That's right. I look like Bama. When I first moved here, I always thought they were Obama voters because it's like on the back of their truck, it's like it got a circle and it says Bama in it. And I thought it was like Obama. What an idiot. I'm like, damn, there's a lot of Obama fans here. I thought it was Republican territory. No. So, anyways, do you guys remember that? Like, can you confirm? Like, it was just a day or two ago. We were in this gray zone, and that was exactly what I said. That now we're at the bottom of the range, and the closer we are to 40, the more likely it's going to go up, not because of supply and demand issues, but it's just specifically because it's near 40. Nobody wants it to go to 40. Nobody wants it to go to 60, right? It's weird. Huh? It's just a bottom, and now look where we are. Quite remarkable, huh? Just remarkable. You know, and the funny thing is, I'm sure if you watch TV or read newspapers or just follow the headlines on financial websites, they tell you there's a big reason for this. Oh, well, right? Oh, the chairman of OPEC, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, the Russians and the Iranians, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, no, there's just a line on my chart that says 43.25, right? And we knew days ago it would go up. I mean, I love reading it because you're like, no, that's probably not quite 100% true. It was supposed to go up. That's why it went up. So as you can see, it came in and tickled the psych level, right? 43 exactly, right? 43 bucks. Yeah. All right, let's do it this way. But I felt bad. Like I feel now like I maybe should read newspapers just so I know what Trump said. So anyways, down and then pop up. Like I said, foreigners know more about Trump than I do. So that's it. So there's your oil. It's kind of top of the range, right? And like I've taught you, you have to assume it's going to stay in the range forever until it breaks. It will absolutely 100% hold unless it breaks. So you need to think that way. If it's going to break, let it break. Take the small loss if you sell. But if you're going to do, you sell here, you buy here, and the only way you're wrong is if you're wrong. And just deal with it. But most of the time, you'll be right. Okay. Yen. It's been very nice. Thank you, yen. I think I caught it here, and I think I caught it here. So there was a cycle. Oh, it might have been the 109. Yeah. All right. So I think I got it right around this trend line. I think I got another one here, right? You can see what I'm doing, right? Buying dips in an uptrend. I know this one sucks, but right. Oh wow, a bit aggressive. But if you look, what's going on? If I were to, okay. Just late is all it is. I'm just late. But playing the, playing the psych level, there's the midpoint. So, I don't know. Can't be perfect all the time, right? What's going on? Yeah. Well, we busted this out recently, and we talked about, you know, pullbacks. Didn't even get a pullback here, but look at resistance, right? Break, buy, break. There was a little one, buy, up, right? And now we're fibbing this way. You could do it like that if you will, or like that, whatever you want. Okay. I gotta figure that out. 1382. Sorry, 382. What extension, what Fibonacci extension does the 382 retracement predict? 1618. Good job, everybody. I like the way you trade. Was it Pythagoras that Fibonacci was friends with? It was the guy that noticed that if you take a guitar string and you shorten the length by 50%, it goes up an octave, and it had to do with the vibrations, right? And I think was it Pythagoras that did that, or I don't know. But anyways, they had interesting friends. But I kind of missed the Renaissance period, right? Where like I was reading about Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, when they were seriously invading the Germanic tribes. And here he is, emperor, but also a warrior. I mean, literally a general. He wakes up in the morning and he kills Germans. Okay? That's essentially what his whole life was. But he also was great at mathematics. He was artistic. He wrote poetry. He wrote philosophy. Like when do you get enough time in the day to sit down and like philosophize? Right? Did you guys get a time yesterday to squeeze in some poetry and some philosophy? Like seriously deep thinking about humanity and the world and the existence? Like, did you draft anything yesterday? I know I'm writing a paper, but you know, yeah, of course, right? Yeah, yeah. But it's amazing, right? That like people did that, right? And apparently, it's really good stuff that it's studied. If you want a worthless, super expensive education, you could study these things, but you're not going to get a return on investment on it, right? But so why do you believe you're the best person for this position? Well, according to Marcus Aurelius in 200 AD, when he was fighting the Germanic tribes, and you're like, what? Right? Yeah. Well, he was out there fighting against Barbarossa. Blah blah. Like, oh my God. Next. This is where you take them up to the roof. Well, let me show you the view from our roof. All right. One day, none of this will be yours. So anyways, Goldilocks. Oh. La, 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 da, 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 da. What in the world is going on here? Nada. Yesterday's low. Well, I'm in a philosophy class right now, and I find it frustrating, to be honest with you. And in this case, we're actually, it's philosophy in an economic point of view. So we're studying economics philosophically. Things like, equality and fairness and justness. Is a particular economic model, does it redistribute wealth or income or resources in a just way, in a fair way? I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, it's good to know. I mean, it makes you a well-rounded person and not like some capitalist pig dog scumbag, right? Fine. So, and I enjoy all the reading, right? So I'm doing a quiz with Norm Chomsky, for example, on the weekend. And you read these guys, and most of them are how do you say it, cracks or quacks? I guess they're quacks, I think. I'm like, all right, here's a guy that knows just enough to write a book. In fact, he could write the same book 10 times and sell it to a whole group of people that have a particular point of view. And it can literally be like a crazy point of view. And like it's just enough to be dangerous, right? And then there's criticisms, and then like, the solution is get rid of private property. Get rid. What are you talking about? I mean, all of a sudden, like either there's no solution that they offer. It's just, oh well, the model's broken. So what's your solution? Oh well, I don't have an answer for that. And then, or the solution is so ridiculous, you're like, well, that's not capitalism anymore. That's communism, and we already know that doesn't work, right? I find it frustrating. Like, all right, so there are problems, and usually I find it has a lot to do with the government, and the government should be doing something, but they're not doing the right things, and the government's being manipulated. So it's just, yeah, things in the system need to be fixed, but so you read Chomsky, and he says, this is bad and that's bad, and the war, the Vietnam War, bankrupted the United States, and that's why we got off the gold standard. I'm like, okay, oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm good, 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 good. And then he's like, oh, but the United States was in a secret war against the Catholic Church throughout Latin America. I'm like, oh my God, now you've just crossed a line with me, dude. No, maybe using drug dealers, stealing money from drug dealers so you can finance illegal shipments of missiles. That I believe, but there's no secret war against the Catholic Church in Central America by the U.S. regime. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, but there's enough people that would love to buy that book and gobble it up. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And he spends his whole life selling people books based on I don't know, opinions that I don't agree with. So, anyways, I find it frustrating. I try to be a realist. So, anyways, we're kind of like in this game, right? And we're going to stay in the range forever and ever and ever and ever until we break it. And then we'll go to the top of the range. And the top of the range will hold, right? It will hold. It will absolutely, totally, without a shadow of a doubt, it will hold unless it breaks. Right? It's the mindset, right? It will go up here, and then I will look to sell, and it will come down unless it doesn't. But that's how you range trade. And you got to practice certainty like that, mental or emotional certainty. You need to practice that because, you know, very often when I see newer traders trade or hear them trade, or if I'm mentoring somebody, they're like, well, you know, it might do this and maybe it'll do that, and you just get caught in this ginormous circle of doubt. I'm like, well, it's support. You buy it. What's so complicated? Well, but because of blah, 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 blah. And of course, you end up buying or way in the middle, right? Or selling way in the middle. And you're out of position. And at best, you give up 30 or 40% of your profit. Or at worst, it collapses on you and you're in the exact wrong spot. So if you're going to buy it low. Like if you're going to buy it, buy it. If you're going to sell it, sell it. Well, how do you get such a good entry? Conviction. Because you say, oh, it's going to go up there and it will fall. Oh, it will fall. And then when it's down here, it will bounce, it will go up, it will go up, it will go up. And the cool thing is, if you buy here and you're wrong and it drops here, here, or here, you know, you're not giving up. You're giving up less. Let's say, I don't want to bust up my drawing tool, but let's say you're risking. Let's just use this line. Okay, so let's say you bought in the gray zone. Where's your stop going to be? Here or here, maybe just below yesterday's low. Okay. So let's just say your stop's here, whatever that is. Okay. But it would still be there if you bought in the middle because you were late and you were uncertain. Oh, but it might. Oh, but it might. Oh, but it might. Okay, but you see here, you're 40, or I guess in this case, 80 to 100%. You're taking on more risk just because you're late. So if you're going to do it, buy it at support, as close to support as possible, because your stop is probably not going to change, and so getting in at a better price is actually, even though it's an aggressive entry, it's actually conservative as far as your stop. You get it? By waiting, it becomes more risky, or in English we would say riskier. Okay. And upside is even closer, right? If you sold here, you know right away you're wrong, right? So where's your stop in this one? Oops, trying to grab this one. Yeah, where's your stop? Here? It's even closer. Right? So now, if you sell on the upside, your stop goes from that much to more like this much, right? Even smaller. Because if you get a higher high here, oy vey, you don't want to be short, right? And so something just popped into my mind. One of the reasons you might say, oh, but Wayne, but it might, is you're still using moving averages, right? Oh, Dodd-Frank are all the new financial reforms that came out after the financial crisis. It's thousands of pages wrong. Dodd and Frank are two senators that work together. And one interesting thing, I don't know, I always find it interesting. Barney Frank, of the Dodd-Frank, is openly homosexual. And in the United States, that's a pretty big thing for someone to be elected into a high position of power. No, no, I don't think so. I think people knew. Well, anyways, people knew. Okay. All right. So, anyways, I want to make a point here before I get off topic. You may you may talk yourself into not doing anything or being late on a trade because you're, and we found this in a comment that someone said last week where they're like, oh, but oh, I know, they were using Fibonacci in a range. And, right? And so anyways, my point there was you don't use Fibonacci in a range. You're using a trending tool in a range. Now, the sad thing is I think his trade plan ended up working. And it's sad because he may just go back to say, well, Wayne was wrong. I was right. I traded the fib. It broke out. I made money. I'm going to keep doing that. Okay, fine. Well, I've been sitting here for well over a decade, right? And so I don't know. I've seen more examples, I would say, where all right, you may have confirmation bias and that maybe it did break out, maybe it did look like a fib, but you draw enough lines on it, every line has a meaning, right? So whatever, just take my advice to say unless you've been sitting here for 13 or 14 years, just take some of my experience and observations and fold it into what you believe, right? But anyways, so this is not trending, right? On this time frame. Now you can change the time frame and say, well, in the higher time frame, it's more down than up or more up than down. Fine. But that may not be the proper entry, but anyways, right? So if this is sideways, what's the market? Bullish or bearish? There is no market. There is no bullish market. There's no bearish market. So, for example, I do this with my mind, but you can actually physically do this, or whatever you call this. I guess not physically, but right? We use the 2155 to measure the market, but there is no market. What's the trend? Now you can see the trend is more bearish than bullish, but you could even say, we're not trending. There's no market. How could we be trending? Come on. Okay. There's only price. You sell at the top, you buy at the bottom. You sell at the top, you buy at the bottom. You sell at the top, you buy at the bottom. You sell at the top, you buy at the bottom. And then if it does break, or when it does break, then you have a new trend, and then you can add those lines back. But you can't say, oh, but Wayne, I'm going to sell at the 21. No, you sell at the 21 when it's trending. Okay? So hopefully somebody's had an aha moment where you go, aha, yeah, I get it, yeah. Okay? And that's the whole point. Okay? So you could say, well, it's trending down, right? So you're better off selling high than buying low. Okay? But bear in mind, at some point, like I've shown you, on when you do multiple time frame analysis, at some point this is likely to happen. Okay? Something like that, right? So you can see, even though the trend is down, there's no real reason why this can't go all the way up here, right? So that's why you buy here, and maybe it breaks up into here, right? In fact, probably even more like 50%. Why not? So you buy the bottom and hope it goes up. How do you decide it's in a range? Couple things, okay? Lower low, lower high. What comes next in a trend? Lower low. So what if it does that? See? It's quick, right? You're like, well, that's not trending. So only a couple things will happen, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, and it totally moves sideways. Or it does a correction. Okay. That would put me short-term long, and this would be rangy if it did this. But as soon as you don't get the lower low, everything comes to a full stop. You can almost hear the screeching of my tires. Whoa! Stop trading. It's true though, right? You're like, whoa! Did you know I almost hit a deer yesterday? Or not yesterday, recently? Yeah. In my driveway, there were 3 deer. Got to watch out when you back up in the dark, huh? Yeah, I must. Sorry, kids. I killed Bambi and Rudolph. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be coming around because then the next night, I take my dog out for a pee pee, walk out into the dark, and all of a sudden, dog takes off, and you can hear 3 deer like taking off through the yard, crashing through the forest, and one of them you can hear splash jumps into the lake to get away from my dog. I'm just standing there like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? I'm in my slippers and my bathrobe. Oh my god, what the hell just happened? The dog comes back. I did a good thing. I did a good thing. I made a jump into the lake. Like, wow. So, what a great thing living in a place like Georgia, huh? Wildlife. I had a bunch of beavers come out of the lake this spring and chop down a whole bunch of my trees. I'm like, holy smokes. My neighbor came out. He's like, you're cutting back too many of the trees. You really should talk to me first. And I'm like, whoa, dude, look, I didn't hack down your trees with a hatchet. Them is beavers. Yeah. Yeah, no joke. Drag the trees away and everything. Damn little beavers. So, welcome to the world, huh? Guess I need to move to New York City. All right, so anyway, sideways on that. What was the news? Let's get that. PPI. Ooh. Oh, a miss. Ha, 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 ha. A little bit of a miss. Some dollar weakness. We're on the weekly M4 as support, however, but I'm thinking we'll go down to weekly R1 and use that as support. That's just me. So a little more weakness and some strength maybe tomorrow, right? Slovakia, their GDP to deficit ratio could widen by 2.5%. Slovakia. What are they doing in Bratislava? Come on. Well, I'm looking more like year over year is, I think, a better measure, and it's 0.8. I mean, it's a big miss there. But that's oil going back down, right? So that's oil once again going from, like, weren't we just at $54 or something? Okay, 52.5. Okay, so we're in the 50s, and then we dropped down to 43. So we dropped, let's say it went to 53 and it dropped to 43. $10 is a significant reduction in price over that period of time, right? Was that 20%? Am I doing the math right? And that is deflationary on the input side. And PPI measures input price inflation. So it's going to drag your PPI down. And we see it there. There it is. Boom, there it is. PPI went supposed to be 1.2, came out 0.8. Month over month, no good. So the little bit of inflation that we were enjoying, we've lost. Okay. So I was teaching my children yesterday, while we were at dinner, about purchasing power parity. And we all concluded, now's a good time to go to Mexico. Yeah. Canadian manufacturing sales, 0.3. Canadian dollar's getting strong. How about that CAD yen, bro? You going to do it? Anyone going to buy the CAD yen? It's not a good support, though, right? I feel like, you know, it's like a kite. When you look at the 4 hours, 4 hour there, it's way up there above 81. Just feels, but whatever. So nice. This is the big move. Nice 382, right? I also had this area highlighted for you in the roll reversal. Went up to the 121.4. Again, that's a number that I made up. And you won't find it anywhere else. It's a stupid Wayne thing. But boy, it seems important, doesn't it? As a casual observer, wouldn't you think like maybe it was the 121.4 that stopped that whole move? You know, well that's what I talked myself into, right? As well, confirmation bias. I'm like, well, it seems to work. So I've used that again since 2002 maybe. So I don't know what's going on here. It doesn't feel like a fib. All right. This looks like it wants to come down, tickle 20, and then maybe try again. So maybe trade it like a range. I'm gonna increase the range a little bit to get that 786 in there, which is 20. Cool. Well, let's call it a day, and we'll leave the rest for tomorrow. I know, right? I know it's 6 minutes early, but I got 9 cups of coffee in, and what can I say? So peace on earth. Oh, we're still working on that. In a week or two, Hojo or Hojo. So we're working on it. It's just one of many things I got going on. But I did talk to the programmer yesterday, and he's waiting on some things from me, which means it's going to be slow. Peace on earth. May the pips be with your profits be above average. I love you guys. Thank you for being here every day. I really do appreciate you being on my team.